C, D, E, F, G, H. I know my ABC. Won't you come and sing with me? Hey guys, that was a 20-second hand wash, and welcome to the first episode of What's Cooking with Dr. Tito. So the first thing we're going to do anytime we're cooking is to wash our hands. And if we sing the ABC song, it gives us a nice little reference to know that we're washing our hands for the appropriate amount of time. So today we're going to be making a smoothie. And this is not just any smoothie. This is a really, really great smoothie. It's just chock with nutrition. So let's get started with some of the ingredients that I use whenever we make a smoothie. The first thing we use is some form of greens. And I really like kale just because they're very high in antioxidants, high in nutrition. Usually the darker the leaf, the better off you are in terms of nutritional value. And so I like to take my kale, buy it fresh, and then I freeze it, and then that way you can kind of crumble it up and it's a little easier to put into your blender. And this is about 4 cups of kale that we're going to be using today. I also love to put in about a cup of frozen cherries, and I love frozen avocados, and so you can either buy the avocados yourself and freeze them, or you can buy some pre-cut avocados, or you can put in a fresh avocado. That's fine too. But as you know, avocados have some really great fats in them that your body needs and your brain needs. And we should all be eating an avocado every day if we can. And here's really the star of the show, the main ingredient, and those are the blueberries. Because when this is all done, this is going to taste like blueberry ice cream. It is yummy. And so we want to use the best blueberries that we can, and these are the best ones I've found, and they're the organic blueberries that I find at HEB. And this is a 2-pound bag, and so I'm going to use half of that bag, which is about 1 pound, and that's equivalent of about 2 cups. Okay. So here's the other thing that's really important with these smoothies: is some form of nuts. Now almonds are great because they have high protein and low fat. I also love walnuts because they're high in selenium, and selenium is a great antioxidant. But really, you can use any kind of nut, your favorite kind of nut, pecans, any kind of mixed nuts, Brazil nuts, cashews, anything like that. Next, we have our hemp hearts, and these are very high in protein, so it's a great addition to your smoothie. And then we've got our chia seeds, and just maybe half a scoop of chia seeds, super high in fiber. So it's really good for you. Our gut, our microflora is really responsible for most of our immune health, and it also makes us serotonin for our brain. And so we have to feed it. They eat fiber, and so women should be eating about 25 grams of fiber per day, and men need about 35 grams of fiber. And this is really important. So, a lot of these ingredients have fiber in them. And if you drink this smoothie every day, you're over halfway there to your fiber requirements for the day. And so these chia seeds are a big part of this smoothie here. Flax seeds are something else that are really good. Great source of omega-3 and also a great source of fiber. Today we're going to actually add some cacao nibs as well, just to give a little chocolatey flavor and chocolatey edge. And then our final dry ingredient is going to be our protein. And you can use a whey protein. I prefer a plant-based protein. And this is an organic plant-based protein. I found this at Costco. And so these are all the dry ingredients that we're going to use. We're going to combine that with some form of milk, whether it's oat milk or almond milk or soy milk. I have found that oat milk makes it the most creamy. And so that's what we're going to be using today. So let's gather these ingredients around our favorite blender. And I love my Vitamix blender because it's real strong and beefy. A Ninja will work well. However, if you're just kind of a regular small KitchenAid blender, it's probably not going to be powerful enough to make this smoothie, because this smoothie is really thick. And just a normal kitchen blender, you're probably going to burn it out really fast. So go ahead and invest in a really beefy blender if you don't already have one. Okay, we'll see you in a minute when we have all the ingredients rounded up. Okay, so now we have all of our ingredients here, and I'm going to share with you a little hack that I use in my life. I I basically eat this smoothie every day. It's such a big part of my nutritional plan because it's really just chock full of goodness. But as you see, there's a lot of ingredients. So what I've decided to do is go ahead and combine all the dry ingredients and sort of meal prep for those. So I just got these little Tupperware containers, and I take all of those dry ingredients and I mix them all together and I put them here. And that's it's the nuts, it's the protein powder, some cacao nibs, some flax seeds, some chia seeds, and hemp hearts. And all that stuff is already pre-mixed here. And then that way each day I just kind of grab this and all my dry ingredients are pre-measured and I can just dump them right in my blender. So, you can really put anything in any order. I just have the order that I always do, and I start with the kale first, and that goes on the base of my smoothie. And then I start with the dry ingredients. Okay, so there's my cup of nuts, 1 scoop of protein powder, got about a half a scoop of chia seeds, some cacao nibs. Here's our flax seed. Here's our hemp hearts. And then in terms of the liquid you're going to use to liquefy it, you can either use, like I said, soy milk. I really like oat milk. I feel like it gives us the most creamy mixture. And so we're going to go ahead and put in about a quart of liquid, whatever it is you decide to use. And then I like to put in my frozen stuff. So there's my avocados going in, gorgeous blueberries, and then cherries on top. All right. So the next thing is ear protection, because we sure don't want to damage our hearing by spending a lot of time around the blender. So I'm going to put on my handy dandy earmuffs here as we blend this smoothie. So, as you can see, this makes a beautiful purple smoothie that now I can share. Bon appetit, y'all. Okay, so there's several things you can do with the smoothie. You can put it in a bowl and maybe add some granola. And this would be similar to like an acai bowl type thing. You can also put it in an insulated cup and take it to work, and that's pretty much what I do every day. Or you can even share it with a friend here. And I've got Miss Julie here, and we're sharing our little smoothie. Hey everybody, this is Coco. And so, you had some questions about the smoothie.
I did. And just to let you know, Dr. Tito makes these smoothies for us every Wednesday. It's called Smoothie Day, just to share with us. So we so enjoy as the staff enjoying these smoothies. But I had a couple of questions. Dr. Tito, it looks like you're going to feed an army. Exactly how much or how many servings are in what you prepared today?
Well, it kind of depends on how much you eat, because this full blender of smoothies is 64 ounces. Okay, so these are 20-ounce mugs. So basically, you could get 3 of these mugs out of it, or 3 big servings. A bowl like this is more like 12 ounces, something like that. So you could get quite a few bowls out of here. So yeah, the answer is really depends on your serving size. The good thing about this the smoothie is it's just so nutritious that you just, for me, I just feel good about eating it all day. So sometimes I'll take one of these big mugs and maybe I'll have half of it or 2/3 of it for breakfast, and then I'll save the rest for like a mid-morning snack. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not so desperate for lunch when it comes around, and I can eat a smaller lunch because really. Almost no matter what I eat for lunch, I know that it's not going to be as nutritious as this smoothie is, because this thing is just so nutritious. Actually, my wife is an integrated medicine physician, and she's actually done a profile on all the ingredients, and honestly, this is one of the most nutritious things you can eat for breakfast. There's really almost nothing better.
Cool. Now, Dr. Tito, I know there's some out here that is a family of one. If we make this and we can refrigerate it, how long is it good for the refrigerator?
Great question. And these are all fresh ingredients, a couple frozen ingredients. It'll probably be fine for about 3 days, but the color will tend to change. And the reason is that chlorophyll inside the kale is a green, and it mixes with the purple of your blueberries, and then it starts to get sort of like a grayish color. So it's not as maybe visually pleasing to eat, but it still tastes pretty darn good.
And can you freeze it?
That's a great question. I've actually never tried freezing it, or maybe I did one time, and it essentially turns into like a frozen block. And so it's probably not the best thing to do to freeze it unless you have a great way to defrost something like that. So best thing to do is just kind of pre-prep your ingredients, get it down to the number of ingredients you need per day, and then just make it fresh every day. It's the best way to do it.
Great, thank you.